At the time of making this video, Beauty and the Beast is the 10th highest grossing film of all time. Opening to generally positive reviews from fans and critics alike, the film has Emma Watson and Dan Stevens as titular characters. While the film did receive applause for its ensemble cast, visual style, production merits, and musical score, it did receive some criticism on the flick's large number of similarities to the original animated version in 1991. It was like the creative minds behind the flick already had a resource point of reference. Now, please don't get us wrong, the movie definitely has a number of unique and creative elements. However, it is our personal belief that remakes, reboots, recreations, and even spin-offs ought to have a higher margin of perfection. So here is a bunch of mistakes we found on Disney's live-action remake of the 1991 classic, Beauty and the Beast. Oh, and before we begin, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to click that subscribe button and join our notification squad. Mistake 1. In this scene, which serves a glimpse into Belle's rather boring life of routine, notice the shade towards her right. But in the very next shot, where she proceeds to come down the stairs, the sun is shining bright on the area. Mistake 2. It's not just the sun that appears to be inconsistent. The chimes do too. They start to ring before the clock strikes 8 o'clock. Mistake 3. Now, there is something peculiar about the horse too. Oh no, it's the rope that appears to have problems. Notice the knot change with the camera angles. Mistake 4. The rope appears to be fishy on the donkey as well. Notice the knot on the donkey's throat, but in the next close-up it is shifted towards his cheek. Looks like the knot wanted to be caressed by Belle too, or perhaps it wanted the apple. Mistake 5. Talking about the apple, take a step back. Where did Belle get that apple from? She hadn't given one to the horse. Mistake 6. Over here, Belle buys a loaf of bread and places it on her porch from where it sticks out, but later the loaf is out of sight. Did it, shrink? Mistake 7. Look at that little girl, who's pretty fortunate to get a pinch off the screen time, but it appears her position is not in sync with how the shots are sequenced. Mistake 8. Look at this woman here. She's already passed across the store, but in the next close-up, there you have it, she's passing through again. It's not just the Beast that's got peculiarities. Mistake 9. And as with these stalkers, notice how LeFou grabs the telescope by the end. His hands can barely reach out, yet in the subsequent front shot, he holds the telescope in the middle. Mistake 10. And notice the type of greens that LeFou is carrying. It appears to change throughout scenes. Did the movie even have a designated crew to check continuity? Mistake 11. And again, time appears to slip tracks throughout the film. As you can see, LeFou was behind Gaston, but in the very next shot, LeFou has somehow overtaken him. Mistake 12. Notice that the girls are sprinkled with mud, which is all over them, and even on the hand, but then they disappear in the following close-up. Mistake 13. And as Gaston tries to make his way toward Bella, he is stopped by this woman, yet in the next shot on Gaston, the woman is nowhere in proximity. Mistake 14. Look at the way Maurice picks up and holds that intricate mechanical component as he requests Belle to hand him the tool, which she has picked up before he even mentions it. What caught our eyes is the way he's holding it. How could he flip his hand so quickly, especially when the sequence is connected by the same dialogue? Mistake 15. In this scene, notice that the gate is open when Gaston tries to hit on Belle. It appears closed in the next shot. Was the gate magical? Was it trying to keep Gaston away from Belle? Mistake 16. In this sequence, when Felipe the horse runs away, he still has the harness and chains on him, but later when he returns, they are gone. Mistake 17. The spiral staircase which Belle ascends goes in the clockwise direction, yet when she reaches the top, she appears to emerge from a set of stairs that ran in a counterclockwise direction. Mistake 18. Over here, the cheerful Gaston shoots on the ceiling, which causes debris to fall. Yet, a bit later in the wider shot, the table on which he stands has no trace of the fallen debris. Mistake 19. Maurice is desperately pleading for help, and there are 3 men next to him, but in the very next shot, they disappear. Mistake 20. In this painful scene where Maurice is about to get locked away, the crowd stands behind the cart and watches as Gaston shuts the doors of the cart and orders to take him away. But according to the point of view from the cart, the crowd appears to have shifted. Look closely. Mistake 21. And in this rather emotional scene, Belle is holding a mirror as she leaves the Beast. Yet as she exits the castle, she has no mirror in her hands. And when Belle arrives back to the village to rescue Maurice, she has the mirror in her hand again. And there you have it. Talking about the movie, despite the silly mistakes, we loved it and wholeheartedly promote it. Just like how Belle accepted all of the Beast's imperfections. In fact, that is the subtle message the movie delivers. But we would also like to shout out to the crew, paint to them, and perhaps enable them to learn from their mistakes. There is apparently no other ways to improve. And the same goes with us as well. Show us our mistakes or any mistake you think we missed. We look forward to it. Until then, here is a brief goodbye from Movie House.